The Catholic clergy abuse scandal includes cases of abuse also by nuns. CBS News has reported on that issue over the past month. Nikki Battiste is in Rome with survivors' calls to expose abusive nuns. Nikki, good morning.
Norah, good morning. Just a little while ago here in Rome, victims advocates handed this letter to a global organization representing nuns. The letter asked for predatory nuns to be exposed so survivors can begin to heal. This call to action comes just as more victims are speaking out.
I whipped around. I could not believe that somebody was actually talking about it.
Nun abuse survivor Virginia June was at home in Ann Arbor, Michigan, when she heard fellow survivor Trish Cahill talking on CBS This Morning.
Pedophile nun is a phrase I think most of our viewers will have never heard.
It's the secret not yet told.
It was the first time I actually was validated with my story.
Facing a troubled childhood at home in the Detroit suburb of Farmington Hills, June says she turned to Sister Pat Kowicki for guidance. Kowicki taught June's religious studies class at what was then Our Lady of Mercy High School.
She seemed to be very consoling and very nurturing and very wonderful, and she became a mentor to me.
The 57-year-old says Sister Kowicki began molesting her when she was 14 years old. The first time was at Kowicki's apartment.
I knew it was wrong, and I didn't know who to tell. I was so confused. It was like this sister is doing these sexual things to me, and I thought she was married to God.
June says the abuse continued for a decade and fueled her addiction to drugs and alcohol. She claims the school and the Detroit Archdiocese failed to act when June and her family say they reported the alleged abuse in the late 80s. June says Sister Pat Kowicki denied any wrongdoing, allegedly calling June troubled. She continued to teach at the school until she died in 1994. In response to June's allegations, Mercy High School says it is deeply saddened and immediately contacted local police and initiated an internal investigation upon receiving our request for comment. In a statement, the Archdiocese of Detroit tells CBS News investigating and substantiating a 40-year-old claim is a matter that takes time and careful consideration. They added, the complainant deserves nothing less than to be assisted and accompanied on her journey towards healing.
We think of nuns as caregivers and maternal and loving.
Last month, former nun Mary Dispenza revealed to CBS News a nun allegedly forcibly kissed her while she trained to join the convent many years ago. Now working with SNAP, the survivors network of those abused by priests, she is helping other survivors tell their stories. After our first report aired in January, nearly 40 people reported allegations of nun abuse to SNAP. That's in addition to at least 18 other reports the organization received last year.
After Trish shared her story and you shared your story with us, more victims found their voice and reached out.
They did, and they're being believed for the first time.
Dispenza is in Rome, calling on the church to lay out a plan to fight sex abuse.
We don't need people praying for us. We need actions.
Now sober for 31 years and married with 2 sons, June has a message for Catholic leaders.
Stop victimizing the victims. Let's put the blame where the blame needs to sit, with the perpetrators.
Virginia June says she believes there are more victims of Sister Pat Kowicki. She says she's also glad the summit here in Rome is happening and that it's a start. But she said more work must be done to protect children. John?
Nikki Battiste, all over this story since the beginning. Great work, Nikki, in Rome. You know, it's worth remembering that these abuses are so awful, and these people turn to priests and nuns for peace and comfort and solace in dark times. And to then be met with that is why this is just so heartbreaking.
And this is why the Pope needs to do something immediately. Zero tolerance. End this. Send an extremely strong message. I hope that's why some of these bishops are staying behind.
And that it be sustained.
Yes.